In September 1994, a reputable aviation journal published a report on what has become known as the Boscombe Down incident. It's alleged that near the Royal Air Force's Boscombe Down airbase in Hampshire, England, a highly classified US spy plane crashed under cover of darkness. Both nations denied the report, but the British Special Air Service was reportedly seen cordoning off the wreckage and covering it with a tarp. An American cargo plane soon appeared to fly the mystery craft back to US soil. Little is still known about the hypersonic plane, believed to be created as part of a black program in the 1980s for secret reconnaissance missions under the name of either Astra or Aurora. Boscombe Down. Rumor has it that immediately after a top-secret American espionage plane crashed near Boscombe Down in September 1994, British Special Forces scrambled to cover it. The station, located at Wiltshire in southern England, is generally believed to serve as testing ground for experimental developments. It's located near Stonehenge and the Salisbury Plain training area. The facility used to be the main airfield for the United Kingdom's Defence Evaluation and Research Agency. It was later purchased by Kinetic for the same purposes. It used to carry the same official name as the Edwards Air Force Base, the Air Force Flight Test Center. The facility has played a role since its establishment in the testing and evaluation of planes, weapons, procedures, and avionics or software equipment. It also houses the prestigious and celebrated Empire Test Pilot School, the first English educational institution of its type. Almost all the technology and equipment that enters the United Kingdom's aviation inventory passes through this school. As expected, many of these projects are never revealed to the public. Trials are conducted for British technology, but as per its close relationship to its former colony turned hegemonic world power, US technology is also sometimes tested at the site, on ranges like China Lake. Its permanent complex at China Lake is used for year-round testing and often houses brand new aircraft and weapons. In terms of size, Boscombe is one of the largest military runways in the UK, and one of the biggest in Europe. Since its elevation is above the nearby road, most of its operations are difficult to discern by anyone that might approach. Furthermore, it makes it easy for operators to take excellent quality, isolated photographs of new planes. Evidence of existence. There have been scarce but vehement reports of the new aircraft dating back to 1992. First, in April of that year, a US ham radio entered a transmission emanating from an aircraft in the process of descent from 65,000 feet above the ground. Such an impressive altitude had only been achieved by the Cold War U-2 spy plane and space shuttles. In comparison, the record for highest altitude for a civilian plane has been held by the Concorde at 60,000 feet since 1976, yet it was mostly capped at 56,000 feet for commercial flights due to safety concerns. In August of 1992, multiple inexplicable sonic booms were recorded taking place over the Netherlands, a concerning fact that drew attention from the Dutch Parliament. The likely flight path, as mapped out by experts, indicated that the aircraft had emerged from the Royal Air Force's Reconnaissance station in Scotland. In December, again of 1992, The Independent wrote an article containing witness statements from the crew of a small vessel in the North Sea that had seen the plane. Based on their statements, The Independent commissioned an artist's impression, which would match that of the one created for Air Forces Monthly. Furthermore, ham radios have on occasion intercepted messages from a high-flying jet or jets seeking authorization to land at the now-closed Reconnaissance station. Astra, Aurora. The report of the incident has an ocean of questions and incomplete information, since all evidence has been compiled from witness statements and their interpretations, and no government has stepped up to admit what happened. The accident occurred on September 26, 1994. Overnight, the top-secret American unknown aircraft took off from the European runway. Before rotation, the plane reportedly experienced serious issues that led to shutting down the engines and turning off the power immediately. The controller sent a message to the London Air Traffic Control Center to let them know there had been a serious incident at Royal Air Force Boscombe Down, leading to a black runway, or totally blocked aircraft. Upon hearing about the message, aviation fanatics believed it could have been a Dara Tornado GR-1 taking off with a target towing banner that landed with it still attached. Yet the very fact that the Ministry of Defense did not speak on the accident has made it evident it could not have been a Tornado GR-1. After the incident, several witnesses reported seeing British Special Forces helicopters operating in the area around the base, including an A-109 from 8th Flight Army Air Corps, which can carry about 22 Special Air Service members. Furthermore, they saw a Chinook helicopter from the 7th Squadron Royal Air Force, which is assigned to assisting the Special Forces. Their prompt arrival at the scene of the incident has increased the mystery and made evident that the accident did not only involve a classified project, but one of great importance. It's been assumed that their role was to provide security for the subsequent cleanup mission. A witness claimed to have seen the plane at the end of runway number 23, with base fire vehicles around it, as well as emergency services cars. The same witness noted that the plane was covered almost in half by tarpaulins. Yet the visible rear of the plane was higher up than the body, indicating a collapsed or heavily damaged nose. Wreckage. The true nature of the accident could not be discerned from witness statements, since they could not confirm if the plane was on the runway or a bit further off. Furthermore, whether the crew aborted in time is impossible to decipher. Interestingly, to cover the airframe design, the tarpaulins had been placed over a metal or wood frame. The rear section, however, was visible. As described, the plane had inward tailplanes, similar to the F-19, another unacknowledged American aircraft. Curiosity has arisen amongst fanatics of aviation or government mysteries about why the tail of the plane was not covered, but alas, no obvious answer exists. Perhaps it was not deemed as essential to keep that section covered. Speculation has led some to believe that 2 crew members may have perished during the accident, and although a leaked document suggests such a thing, the claim has gone uncorroborated. More so, it would be strange that crew members in this day and age would be unable to eject before a terrible accident, and difficult for the defense departments in both nations to cover up a fatal accident. Yet the secrecy has made it impossible to dispel such rumors. Cover-up. The morning after the incident, an Army Air Corps Augusta A-109 visited the area from Hearn Airport. This small fact has raised an alarm because very close to Hearn, the Special Boat Squadron headquarters are found in Poole, Dorset. They're the maritime version of the Special Air Service, an elite and secretive force that's even more invested in classified work than the Navy SEALs, to the point that it's rare, bordering on impossible, to hear about operations involving them. Such aircraft can only be operated by the Special Air Service at Hereford, so it begs the question of why their people would travel to Boscombe Down and provide maximized security. Furthermore, it's speculated that the A-109 may have taken Special Boat Squadron troopers to the area. Witnesses also noticed the Chinook that flew in from Royal Air Force Odium, which allegedly traveled to assist with the security of the area. By the morning of September 27th, the aircraft had mysteriously vanished from where the witnesses had seen it. Still, on the 28th, more strange occurrences took place. Since the Defense Evacuation and Research Agency was in the process of retiring an old Buccaneer aircraft by testing avionics and weaponry on it, they pulled it out of the hangar. Immediately after it emerged, witnesses were able to see something they did not expect. The elusive Project Astra, or Aurora, was there, completely visible. Only its center section was not covered in tarpaulins. Unlike what the viewers expected, the aircraft was not black, but rather, quote, charcoal gray. Furthermore, the inwardly canted fins had only given them a taste of another remarkable feature. The canopy for the cockpit was hinged at the front, rather than the back, unlike most planes. According to witnesses, it featured chines that extended from the back of the plane to the front, like those of the YF-23 and SR-71. The pickup. Unfortunately, their almost unobstructed sight was soon interrupted. Later on, they were able to see it again as it was loaded onto a C-5 Galaxy through its front cargo door. Interestingly, it was discovered that the particular C-5 used in this instance was not initially connected to the Black Project and was headed for Ramstein Air Force Base in Germany, but was redirected to Boscombe Down. Such an aircraft only enters the Royal Air Force facility for air shows by the US Air Force, which are rare. The diverting of the plane, along with its presence at the UK facility, could only indicate one thing: a secret American project. Supporting this theory was its departure flight path to KPMD, a code that designates the Plant 42 airfield near Palmdale, California. This airfield is used by Lockheed's Experimental Skunk Works Division and by Northrop's Black Projects Division. Moreover, the Galaxy plane has the call sign Lance 18, a designation not often used for planes of the type. Adding even more secrecy to the mystery, a Royal Air Force public relations officer subsequently denied that a C-5 had visited Boscombe Down at all, which is at odds with the fact that multiple witnesses saw the easily recognizable massive plane. Reporting. The United States had vehemently denied the existence of the aircraft despite the numerous reports of sonic booms and sightings. The Boscombe Down incident is the only reported crash of the aircraft. Both the Ministry of Defense in the UK and the Department of Defense in the US denied the story and wrote it off. Yet the editor of Air Force's Monthly, David Oliver, strongly supports his reporting and has stated that the incident was investigated as thoroughly as possible by his team for 2 years before breaking the story, with Royal Air Force officers anonymously serving as sources. Oliver has stated, quote, "We have no doubt that an incident did happen on the day in question, and it has never been satisfactorily explained by the authorities."